Dr. Rebecca Carley is a degreed medical doctor, surgeon. Her only child was damaged by vaccines. She began to investigate it. And we just got her on the line. She was pointing out something I wasn't even aware of. The London Telegraph reporting on a bunch of people dying in Poland from a bird flu vaccine test. And you guys did pull that up, right? You said you did pull it up. Throw that up on screen for folks so they can see it. There's a lot to cover in the time we have left, and I also want to go to calls for folks that are holding on this subject. But Dr. Carley, we'll have to have you back up next week for 2 hours if you can do it to really detail all this and go through your knowledge. Now, on one side, bird flu itself can kill people, but it's very hard to catch. The point is they're mixing it with vaccines and then not even irradiating it. That's no accident. Just absolutely amazing. And regular flu vaccine inoculations, and thank God some subcontractors tested it and it killed the ferrets. They were testing it just to see if the regular flu vaccine had been irradiated, because if the ferret gets sick, they know it hadn't been radiated properly. But instead the ferrets died. This is mainstream news. This is deadly bird flu. They were trying to mutate. But let's just go ahead and go to Dr. Rebecca Carley. Tell us what's happening.
Basically, they're trying to cause the pandemic. They have already stockpiled at least 250 million doses of the bird flu vaccine. The shelf life of that vaccine has a certain amount of time by which they'll have to throw in the garbage. So they have to start the pandemic so that they can give the vaccine, which will then cause the bird flu pandemic. I encourage all of your listeners to go to my website, drcarley.com, drcarley.com. Go to the bottom of my site, and you will actually see posted an article entitled U.S. Controls Bird Flu Vaccines Over Bioweapon Fears. In fact, this is an Associated Press article that says that our government is reluctant to give bird flu vaccine to some of the rogue nations for fear they will use the vaccine as biological warfare. So when you actually look at what's out there, folks, it becomes crystal clear. This is genocide. This is population reduction, and it's happening right now.
All right, let me stop you right there. You just brought a huge piece of the puzzle that I wasn't even aware of. We Googled it. It's true. I have the AP article about them admitting bird flu vaccine can be used as a bioweapon. Now this company in the U.S. ships it, doesn't tell the companies they're subcontracting to make regular flu vaccine that they're mixing it. By God's grace, they did a test, and it killed the animals. They looked at it and said, this is H5N1, the deadly stuff that would then become airborne by being mixed with the other flu vaccine. And here it is. Homeless people die after bird flu vaccine trial in Poland. The London Telegraph, July 2008. And it says 3 Polish doctors, 6 nurses are facing criminal prosecution for a number of homeless people died following medical trials of a vaccine to the H5N1 bird flu virus. I mean, this is, and they keep telling you you're a kook if you don't want to take vaccines, doctor.
Right. Well, let me also state, you see, this is very intentional because the H5N1 bird flu virus is not actually able to be picked up by humans in a regular scenario. So by putting it with a regular human flu, they're intentionally causing it to create a hybrid virus. And this is how they're going to make the bird flu virus be contracted by the people, because it's very virulent, and basically the scenario that it creates is very disturbing. You actually bleed out into your lungs and suffocate on your own blood.
Please continue.
Okay, and I want to just make it clear, I encourage the listeners once again to go to my website, drcarley.com, and read the article I now have posted, Science of Vaccine Damage. We have a number of non-pharma-funded veterinarian researchers that have documented what I've been saying for 12 years, that it's not just the diseases themselves that vaccines cause. When you inject live viruses into the bloodstream, you bypass a critical part of the immune system, and vaccines, in fact, cause all autoimmune diseases, non-traumatic seizures, cancer, and genetic problems in people and in pets. So this is the greatest epidemic the world has ever known, vaccine-induced diseases. I've developed a protocol to reverse these things, but we have to stop this Holocaust on humanity, not only humanity, our pets, and our food sources.
Well, doctor, I wanted to back you up. All these big veterinary university studies, as you know, have now come out showing thousands of percentile increases in the area where dogs and cats are injected. Everybody I know injects their cats and dogs, and they almost die. They have seizures. It causes, as other medical doctors have told us, autoimmune responses where the brain swells. That's causing actually most of the autism. The mercury is a side issue.
Right.
And here they are trying to send out bird flu mutated with regular flu for deadly airborne flu that kills over 60% of people that come in contact with it. And then meanwhile, they're running billboards and ads everywhere saying vaccines are good, take more. HPV's killing a lot of the girls that take it. It's okay. Dying is good. It keeps you safe. Dying keeps you safe. I mean, it's mass insanity. We're going to come back and talk about how this kills you and how you think they're going to release it. There is so much evidence of this. It's right out in the open. They give it to homeless people and it kills them. Another company ships it to all these labs, doesn't tell them what it is, tells them, oh, here's the mixes, mislabels it, has them mix it with all these different strains of regular flu. They admit that it will mutate inside the growing process and mutate inside the human body. Airborne super flu that kills you. Doctor, break this down for folks, how it kills you, what's going on, and the larger picture with all the documentation you've got. And she neurotically goes through all, even mainstream documents, mainstream news. And by the grace of God, a subcontractor tested the flu shots, because they've had so many people get killed in Europe from them, on ferrets, and it killed them deader than a hammer. So they tested it and freaked out, saying, what on earth is this? This is incredible. Dr. Carley. Yeah, we're having some phone systems go up and down. Get her back on for me, okay? I don't think it's the government doing it, though they admit they've done sabotage to other people. This always happens when, and now Jesse Ventura, happens like once a month, but it's always, and now Willie Nelson, and now Jesse Ventura, and now we will expose the bird flu plan. And we've got like 3 backups in there, so hopefully that'll get it fixed. So we will get her back up and on the line. Okay, Dr. Carley, did you hear my questions?
Strange things happen when I do shows like this. I just want to mention a couple of very important things that people have to realize. First of all, there's been almost $1 billion with a B, $954 million has been put aside in the stimulus package for further inoculations. And as people are listening to our corrupt Congress in the District of Criminals talking about mandated health insurance, you have to realize that just like they're doing in Massachusetts now, they're going to tell you what you need to do in terms of your health, quote-unquote, coverage. It's actually death coverage. And so this is what's going on. This is a population reduction agenda. One other quick thing I just wanted to mention is that there's at least 9 biowarfare weapons labs in every state at this point, and the way they ship their viruses from lab to lab is by Federal Express. So as they're trying to tell us that we have all these rogue nations to fear with their biological attacks, in fact, the FedEx truck that's delivering packages to your house could very well have H5N1 on it as well.
And, Doctor, remember the wreck 4 years ago with the FedEx truck, and they asked, why is there weaponized super bird flu on board? Remember that?
Yes, I do. That's how I found out about this.
All right. Well, I mean, as a medical doctor, as a surgeon, as someone who's been researching this in depth for years, tell us what the bird flu will do if it goes airborne, or if people would have taken these shots that killed the ferrets, how this kills you. I see different news reports of that it kills 60 to 90% of people that come in contact with it.
Well, what people have to realize is that they've intentionally weaponized this by going up to Alaska and digging up dead bodies that died, people that died from the 1918 Spanish flu, which was not a Spanish flu at all. It was actually caused by inoculations given to soldiers in World War I. And since it was such a killer, these minions from the Department of Army Pathology in Washington went there and dug up those dead bodies and brought those lung tissues back and, did the DNA deconstruction on it. And they have combined that with the bird flu in order to make a pathogen which is going to kill young people. That is the very serious aspect of this. This is not going to just kill, the young and the old, as usually happens with different pathogens. This is going to specifically target young people in the ages of, say, 20 to 60. And this is going to basically cause you to, as I said, bleed out into your own lungs. You're going to suffocate on your own blood. And the aerosolization aspect of it is not just with chemtrails and things of that nature. If people in your neighborhood are stupid enough to get injected with this insane vaccine, they're going to be coughing and sneezing on you. And so that's part of the aerosolization thing. They're going to be able to make this pandemic happen very quickly once they introduce this into the United States population.
Absolutely. I want to show the viewers out there the headline, flu pandemic could kill 1 billion people around the world. This is in the Journal of Nature and a bunch of other publications a few years ago, where they're out there fear-mongering, trying to get everybody scared. And then meanwhile, I have the mainstream news, and I see these all the time. You pointed one out. Homeless people die after bird flu vaccine trial in Poland. London Telegraph